Welcome back to Musica Universalis. We would like to take a moment to thank everyone who has donated so far towards the our target here. We are excited to provide a lot of very fun progress goals and rewards. If we hit $2,500, Ellie, who is playing Titania here, will be reading Puck's monologue from Midsummer Night's Dream. At 5,000, Sam will be doing a monologue from the original book, from the original Le Fantôme de l'Opéra. That's as good as I get with my French.
Potentially in French. I'm kidding.
Oh, I'd be super impressed. However, you don't get that cool stuff unless you actually donate and help us reach that. Remember, every dollar, every penny is very welcome, and we will be very grateful for it. All the money that we raise today goes towards the 2023 schedule for Worlds Elsewhere Theatre Company, so we can continue to put on wonderful stage shows for everyone around the world forever.
Our first show this year, our first actual play that we're performing is Coriolanus, or Coriolanus, which is Shakespeare, and it'll be coming up in the spring, really, really soon. We're very, very excited. It's going to be tech fabulous. I'm going to have a lot of work to do.
Everything you've told me about like the plans for it have me very excited to see it. So I'm very much looking forward to it. However, we will return now to Musica Universalis, Act 2, The Prison. The air is wet, and the lightness of the place from which you have just come gives way to a heaviness that bears down upon your shoulders. You arrived here from a place in which all things glowed with an inner light, yourselves included. But here, there is almost no light. There is certainly no comfort. You can hear the constant rumbling of the sea somewhere beyond the old stone walls that rise up around you. But you cannot see the water, nor the sun, nor anything that would grant hope to those trapped inside this prison. You are free to take a look around, see what you might spy. The prison itself has an oppressive darkness around it, helped in no part by the thick, high walls that it is composed of. Morgan, you were the first here. Sorry to interrupt. No. Is there anything that you do in preparation?
I think she just tried to get her bearings. Castle plus ocean for her immediately calls to mind Tintagel.
Mm-hmm.
So she's trying to figure out, it's she doesn't believe it's Avalon. So it's kind of looking around, seeing if this is a prison. Presumably there are prisoners. She's going to look and see if she recognizes any faces.
Mm-hmm.
And also just kind of look for signs of like where have we situated ourselves, mm-hmm. and is it a place that we are familiar with?
You are the first to arrive, so you step forward a little bit, make your way down this hallway until you come across what seems to be the only person in the prison right now. He looks haggard. He is a tall man. He is sort of powerfully built. However, you can see the deep grooves in his face, the years of his struggle here bearing down upon him. And he looks up at you from his prison cell with a look of surprise. And he approaches the door of his cell. Oh, are you an angel or a devil in disguise?
Fortunately for you, I'm neither. Now, would you mind telling me where we are and what you're doing here?
This is the Chateau d'Ile, and I, who have been betrayed, assassinated, and cast into a tomb, have been trapped here. My name is Edmund.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar. You'll have to forgive me. My name is Morgan, and it appears that I have been sent to France across the ocean.
Oh, France is a long way from here, I am afraid.
The Chateau d'Ile, did you say?
Yes, the very worst prison.
If we're not in France, if we're not in the land of the Normans, then where are we exactly?
You may as well call yourself a devil, for we are in hell. At this point, Morgan, you hear sounds behind you, and Alice, you would be the first person to pop out into this new reality, sword in hand. You can see Morgan not too far away from you. She appears to be speaking to someone in a prison cell.
Oh, hello.
Well met, young queen, and appears that you found yourself a weapon, so you're to be a fighter then.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to use it or how, but I thought it might come in handy.
Swords are always welcome. I'm not sure where we are, but we
I
have
think
one
that
prisoner.
writer fellow. I think that writer fellow said that the taller man was a knight. Maybe he could use it.
Morgan will turn to the gentleman in the cell and say, "Are you a knight then?"
No, not a knight. I was once almost a great man, but I was betrayed. But soon I shall emerge from this tomb by the grace of God, and once I do, I owe it to God to take my revenge.
Well, we're on the lookout for a thief, and if you help us out, then perhaps we can help you get your revenge a little bit faster. I'm assuming there's a lock on the door.
There is a lock on the door. The rest of you arrive in time. Jean helping Titania arrive in this a place that might feel it is different, but in some ways it may almost feel familiar.
Well, you know how it is. Toulon, Chateau d'If. It's all really the same at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Are there any like tables or chairs nearby in where in the hallway we're in?
Yes, you see a few roughly hewn tables and wooden chairs situated on a couple of the tables. You can see candles. They are burning low. They provide really the only true illumination you can find here.
I mean, I'm about to find a way to say, does Titania have dark vision?
In another world, another story, perhaps, but this is a different story. You were never a star of it. You can You can see what is illuminated ahead of you.
Titania is gonna like collapse into like basically on top of one of the tables, look over at Morgan and start giggling slightly crazily.
Are you all right?
How are you going to be?
It's okay, Your Majesty. You'll get used to the darkness.
Christine, sorry, go ahead,
I
John.
don't know. Valjean will look around and I guess accustomed to this sort of light. Well, I guess he was on the galleys. Either way, he will. Can he just like sense that he's like in France? I guess.
You get the overwhelming sense that you are in your homeland.
Now he has the Quincy Conti
here.
music
It's-
playing.
Smells very French. You you get the sense that although you may not be familiar with this place specifically, there are some hallmarks, we might say. You can see, that you can see. It is
Would I be able to perceive that? I don't know. That's Edmund, but Edmund. Would I be able to perceive him in his well, Morgan was able to see him certainly.
Yeah. You, as you approach Morgan, you can see that she is speaking to a gentleman. He is dressed in a prisoner's garbs. They are dirty, but you are able to you're able to discern by his tone. You can understand him perfectly. He is a fellow Frenchman.
Yeah, surely. Aren't we all? The Valjean will sort of like try to get a sense of it and just how recently did they go by the guards?
It is something is different, wrong. The jailers and the prisoners, these men who were my enemies, my friends, they have become blank, unknowing, as if their wants and dreams no longer mattered in the course of my own journey. Does that make sense? Do you understand?
More than I would like. Valjean will like look around. It's this seems to be solitary. Did you have any others nearby? Do you?
I did, my mentor, but now they're all the same. There is one who differs, a strange figure. I thought I had gone mad upon seeing him, clad in armor, speaking in strange tongues. If you listen carefully, you may yet hear them, although they are surprisingly quiet. Could I ask everyone to make a notice check, please?
Oh, that's an awful notice check.
I got worse. I got the worst. Titania is losing her mind, so she doesn't notice anything.
True. Okay. So, Jean and Jean and Alice, you are the first two to notice. Everyone else is kind of perhaps a bit distracted, so they do not hear anything, and neither do you really. There is not a single squeak. However, coming from the shadows, pops up a new figure, curious, certainly, who appears to be ready to lunge out in defense of Edmund. Can we welcome to the stage and to Musica Universalis, Bex Silberfein. Bex, can you describe what Alice and John might see?
But of course, you see a man somehow, despite all the dirt and drab of this prison, in the most impeccable, spotless, silent armor you will ever see in your life. He is of really average height and average build. The thing, if not oddly enough, a bit on like the skinnier side for a knight. The thing that really stands out is how did they keep their armor so silent and entirely metal and stuff? How'd they keep it so silent walking around these prison cells? So Valjean and Alice see me.
Yes, this.
And sorry, don't know
go.
Monte Cristo that well. That's Edward's Monte Cristo's first name.
Edmund, yes.
Edmund. Got it.
Yes. You've met Edmund. Poor fellow seems locked in his cell. But he is the only he has up until now been the only source of any conversation since you strangely arrived here.
Halt! I will not let you harm this man, as I say, but I notably enter and stand behind Edmund. Not guarding him in any way, just posturing. State your purpose, be it noble or ill intent.
Really not ill intent.
Well, I should hope not. There's a child with you. Yeah, I must ask, for strange things have been happening. Have you encountered the faceless ones?
Not as yet, no. We apologize, monsieur. Yeah, Valjean just trying to like tank this. He's just like he's trying to like he's just like yeah. He's just like I apologize, monsieur. We are passing through.
At the mention of faceless ones, Alice's imagination goes wild, and she's going to step slightly behind Valjean and hold up the sword to him. Badly. She's still holding it from the hilt. But like clearly she's offering it to him, even though like she should be handing him the hilt rather than offering him the blade. But she's going to offer Valjean the vorpal sword.
Alice and Jean Valjean are conversing with Bex. Can we like have noticed?
Thomas Tom. Tatiana.
We don't know your name yet.
Oh wait, that's true.
Could and I have like noticed that they're talking with someone now and like heard this exchange?
Yeah,
if we failed the perception.
Yeah, you're all aware now of this curious, fully armored yet remarkably quiet knight, who has appeared apparently in defense of this Edmund.
Titania is gonna sit up, and again, so I don't know if Bex like heard the description. Titania is 6'9", and her proportions are kind of weird. Go, oh, they're faceless. Do you mean like no parts of the face? Or did someone take them? Is there blood?
Or is it simply a mask?
I stare.
I like that. I prefer that.
At the 6'9" thing. And I decide to direct my attention towards the lady.
Oh, a dagger in my heart. See if you get any healing in future games.
We all know I can take a hit. I go, no, milady, these faceless, they are almost, quite frankly, they have no face. They are just gray voids of men where there used to be guards, though. Admittedly, I don't spend much time in prisons, so I don't know how. I'm usually putting people in them, so I don't know how much that is actually what they are supposed to look like. But I do know that people generally look like people. So something.
Generally.
Do you have extremely? Do you have very bad face blindness?
Monsieur, I am glad that you have taken up such a noble aim, certainly. What may we call you, since you do have a face?
Indeed. I am Sir Thomas Tom, one of the finest knights in I wrote down the name of where I'm from, but I don't have my handy dandy character sheet on because my phone just died. I'm from. Where am I from, Connor?
Sir Thomas Tom is the finest knight in all of Albion.
Albion. Yes,
Oh.
that's where I'm from.
So it's an
Would-
Englishman. It's
Would
one of
I
the
know?
Sorry, go ahead, Morgan.
Would I know of this illustrious Sir Thomas Tom?
You have no idea who this guy is.
Okay.
You have never
I
like
know
you have.
who she is.
Perhaps if you knew her name, but yeah.
And who do I have the pleasure of meeting?
My name is Monsieur Madeleine, and this is my ward, Alice.
Quite a big sword for such a little lady.
Yes, we found it going around. We felt that it was dangerous to have it lying around. After all, a child was able to pick it up. For being so on top of these things, you should have been able to certainly not allowed an old man and a child into these places and allowed such a dangerous weapon to be laying around.
Well, I'm not a guard. I'm technically a passerby like you. Technically, I can't exactly leave, but I can sneak in and out easily enough.
Edmund at this point, like looks out through the bars and asks, "Good Monsieur Sir Thomas, the key. Did you find the key?"
Did I find the key?
Make an investigation check. Make an investigate check.
All right. And that's where are my dice? Here are my dice. And that's what is it again? Sorry.
Sure. So on your character sheet, you'll find that you have a list of skills with which you are mediocre.
Oh,
and
it's my character sheet. Okay, so I can roll. I can roll from here. Make an investigate check.
You can. It will ask you if you want to add any bonuses. If you have an aspect or a stunt that you might be able to use, then by all means you can. Otherwise, it's just flat.
There are none that would help me in this situation.
Okay.
So I didn't. No.
You did not find the key. You might have actually forgotten what you were looking for as you were sneaking around, trying not to get caught. But the key is unfortunately beyond you right now. This the cell is perhaps the lock would not be. It's heavy. It's not complex, but yeah, you do not have the key at this time.
My dear Count.
No, you go ahead, Bex. I'll do what I want to say after you're done.
My dear Count, I am sorry. I have not yet to find it, but I am working on it.
You must work harder. If once I am free, we can all leave this place. I have
You
an
say
escape
that,
route.
but yes, I know the escape route, but the guards have only increased their security, sir. Now I may be able to get through, but a group as large as this, we would need a clever plan. Which admittedly I'm good at coming up with, but
Is the door made of wood?
The door is metal. It
Okay.
is, yeah.
Can I use Titania's? I was going to have Titania just rip it off its hinges.
Valjean, he pats his pockets. From where I got plucked out of, would you say that I've kept a like a large sou piece?
I would say, depending on where you were taken, yes.
Okay. Valjean looks at the lock and thinks about it and says, did he actually? Yeah, I heard that his name was Edmund. Edmund, would you know how to open that if you were given the right material?
With the right material and time, yes. Yes, I believe so.
Valjean nods and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out what appears to be a overly large sou piece. He then kind of twists it and pulls it apart, and the coin had been cut in half, and inside of it is basically like a bobby pin and some other small objects of thievery. And
You are interesting, Monsieur
I will.
Madeleine.
You pick up a few things, and I'll invoke the aspect if you want me to. It doesn't have the name on it. That's sad.
I am not entirely opposed to trickery. I myself like to do things unseen. This is quite clever.
And Valjean, with Dantes's assistance, he'll try to pick open the lock.
The two of you working together should be able to undo this lock.
Okay.
While you are busy doing that, can I ask if anyone here has, we'll say, a notice of fair or higher?
Yes.
Nope.
This has a notice of good.
Okay, Alice has a notice of good. Okay,
Average.
average. Okay.
Average.
Mediocre.
Okay.
Mediocre.
So
Oh, I never did finish. We could do it later.
So Alice, you are.
Oh, wait.
Oh yes.
I apologize. I thought you meant our roles. I do have a fair notice.
Oh, fair notice. Okay, great. So Alice and Morgan.
Oh, and so do I. I misunderstood as well.
Oh, not a problem. So so Alice, you're the first to notice this. However, Christine and Morgan, you quickly follow.
Probably bored and wandering around, and I just catch
Yeah.
something.
Alice.
While bored and wandering around, you do hear the sound of footsteps, methodical and slow, echoing off the metal walkways that are above you.
Do I
seem
see-
to be? Go ahead.
Do I see? I'm sorry. Are these stairs, and can I see them? That go up to the...
Yeah, you can see on either side sets of spiraling stairs that lead up to the walkways above.
If I up, can I see who's on top of the walkways? There's somebody up there.
You do not see anyone yet. They seem to be still some distance away from you. However, they are getting closer, and as you and Morgan and Christine perhaps listen more carefully, you get a sense that there are several figures moving up towards where your group is currently located.
Alice is going to call to the two that are picking the lock and say, Messieurs, guards.
I hide behind the big, scary, tall thing.
Morgan will kind of whisper to Sir Thomas Tom, "Who's the king of this realm? Quickly!"
I think I'm going to hide under the table.
Okay.
Lady, I am from Appledore. It would be better to ask Sir Edwin.
No time.
I'm
Very
not
well.
from, just as you.
Valjean quickly whispers to Dantes, what year is it?
And then I hide behind the big, scary thing.
Okay. What year? It is. It's been 14 years since my imprisonment. It is 1829.
1829. And Valjean will answer. It isn't 18th. It's the other guy. It's I'm trying to remember it's so goddamn often. It's not King Louis the 18th. It's maybe the 19th, I guess. I forget. But Valjean answers, knowing what year it is. He was alive then, so he answers. Morgan, what the current king is
Didn't
of
have a
France.
king at that point.
They did, because the whole revolution thing failed a whole 5 times. So it's they tried though.
There were too many Louis, too many Napoleons.
Looks like
Titania, who is
Charles
both.
the 10th.
Okay.
I would just
Titania,
like to be
who-
known. I was
Okay.
successful on my stealth roll. So,
You were great on your stealth roll. We'll see how successful you are.
oh, is that? Oh.
To Titania being the sort of person who's kind of hard to hide, and B, not accustomed to making herself unknown, is just gonna stand up straight and maybe shrug off her cape a little bit. Is like, all right, gods then.
Just
Morgan for
follow her behind.
Sorry, go ahead, Morgan.
Morgan, for her part, will realize very quickly that she does not know who this king is, and so therefore, unfortunately, does not know what this king looks like. And she kind of sighs in resignation and says, very well, my brother then. And can I use my high concept of the shape-shifting sorceress of King Arthur's court?
You can, if you are willing to spend a fate point to invoke that aspect.
Yes, I will go ahead and do that.
All right. So you invoke your aspect, Morgan, the shape-shifting sorceress of King Arthur's court. How do you invoke this aspect?
Well, anybody who is standing somewhat close by will hear Morgan say words that they do not understand, because there are very, very few who do. Titania might. So the rest of you hear kind of quiet mutterings. But Titania will hear, bone to bone, sinew to sinew, bone to bone, sinew to sinew. I change, I become, I take on, I am. And Christine, because you are pretty much right across, and Sir Thomas Tom, perhaps Valjean, will watch as from the top down, it's like this kind of wave of magic. And who you see standing before you is wearing a crown, but it is altogether a different crown. And the person who stands before you slowly and surely is no longer a woman, but is a man with who looks a little familiar. There's some familial some familiarity, definitely some relation between Morgan and the person that she has changed into. But a a man, a little bit taller than Morgan, a bit slighter than one would think, but definitely regal. And Morgan will kind of stand up straight and say, "Very well then, off to meet these so-called knights." Her voice has changed even, dropped a bit deep, and she's going to head towards these stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ce n'est pas
Um,
possible.
That is a
you,
very impressive trick I should like to learn.
you are disguised as so I am giving you the situation aspect, sort of disguised as King Arthur,
Yes.
which you will be able to utilize. So you have that for the rest of this scene. You are disguised as King Arthur, and you can invoke that one for free once. So you head towards the stairs. Alice, you are trying to hide. It does not go well. You knock over some chairs. Things are kind of like tumbling around.
Yeah, I climb under the table and I'm like, my feet are still hanging out and whatever.
Yeah.
Can I like nudge the child's feet under the table from my spot?
Okay.
Also,
Christine.
where's the child's sword? Is the sword under the table with you?
I thought Valjean had the sword.
That depends on whether Valjean took it from me when I offered it.
Yes, to get it away from a child, he would take the sword from you.
Got it.
Yep.
So there's
Okay.
no-
Cool. I thought that might be your reasoning as well. Sharp objects, small child. Thanks.
Okay, Christine, you're also going to try to hide. Okay.
I'm thinking that I will try to hide. I guess you would call it in the shadow of these spirals.
Yeah, I will say that this place does have an aspect of oppressive darkness, which you can all invoke the same way you would invoke your aspects on your character sheet. So if you wish to use that, you can always spend a fate point to increase your stealth roll, or even re-roll them if you wish. Although you did pretty well there.
I'm fine with my current stealth roll. I will not use a fate point at this moment.
Okay.
Connor.
Yes.
When these knights come downstairs, like I'm having Titania kind of straighten up, try to regain some measure of composure. Can I, when they arrive, can I use my aspect fairy skip hence to basically command them to serve her?
We will see.
Okay.
We will see if you are able to do that. So, as you are waiting, soon, Morgan, you would be the first to see them as they come into the light, standing as you are at the stairs. First one, and then more figures. Obviously, not that big. Moving into the light here. Moving towards you. First one, then two, and you see 4 in total, drawing close to the stairs. They all, you get a sense that they notice most of your group. However, their gray faces do not appear to notice or take an interest in where Christine is hiding, or where Sir Thomas is hiding. The both of you are hidden at this time from these guards. You
I
assume they are
silently
guards.
took off
Mhm.
my helmet because it was getting too hot in this cell.
Yes, Morgan.
May I come up the stairs? Can I come like kind of up here, stand before these individuals?
You may.
Okay. So Morgan walks up the stairs, or rather Arthur walks up the stairs, and she will look upon these strange people with strange, perhaps non-existent faces, but she's going to play it cool, and she will say, as Arthur, Sir Lancelot, Sir Gawain, Sir Percival, Sir Kay, it is good to see you as always. What news from Tintagel?
They look at you somewhat confused. As best you can tell, their expressions on their faces are very malleable. They have no defining features anymore, but their eyes glance up and down, and their their hands tighten at the clubs upon their belts. Morgan, make a deceive check, please.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
not great.
If you wish to use your free invocation of your current aspect, the situation aspect, you can.
Okay.
It will allow you to. You can either add 2 to that and make it a good check, or you can re-roll.
I'll go ahead and make it a good.
Okay. So you have used your situation aspect. You can go ahead and check that box.
Okay.
If you wish to use it again, you can, but it will cost you a fate point.
Yeah.
Okay. So your deception is good enough to keep them from immediately attacking you.
I do have one question.
Mhm.
As I said these names,
Yes.
Morgan, I'm going to explain my thought process.
Yeah.
Morgan sees people without faces.
Mhm.
She knows what the 4 knights she named look like. These are blank canvases.
Mhm.
Can she like will upon them? This is hard, you can tell me no, but can she will upon them the faces and the character of these knights?
I will allow you to make a will skill check. In an effort to push this upon them. We will see how well you do. I will say the better the chances of the better you do on the skill check,
Mhm.
the more closely they will hew to those characteristics. However, that does not mean that they will be friendly to you if they learn that you are Morgan. Okay?
Okay,
All right.
that's fine.
All right. So go ahead and make a will check. It will require you have a great will, so you have the potential to do very well here.
That's what I'm betting on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I clicked on it, nothing happened.
Did it ask you?
Oh,
if you
yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Fate's
Scheisse.
a fair roll. If you want to invoke any aspects you can, but if you're happy with the fair roll,
Um,
And
do thou thy worst, and I defy thee.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Titani, you wanted to say something?
I mean, I'm the one who wrote it, so I'll understand if you don't want me to use it this way. But could I use my stunt, think but this and all is mended, to add to a rapport, will, or deceive roll to prevent a character from becoming hostile to you?
I will say that if you want to use that stunt in this quest in this manner, yeah, I will. I'll say it says add to a rapport, will, or deceive roll. It does not necessarily mean it needs to be your roll.
It would basically represent like Titania, like putting her will behind what Morgan's trying to do.
What do you say to assist Morgan in this endeavor?
Oh God. What was the names that that Morgan threw out there?
Lancelot, Gawain, Percival, and Kay.
Gawain, get your hand off that club and get down here. Do what he says already.
Okay.
You are a mad woman, you.
I mean, yes.
Okay. That makes your roll great. I will say for a great roll, who was Morgan's favorite knight?
Oh, Lancelot, absolutely. That was the whole thing between her and Guinevere.
Okay.
Oh,
That's true.
Yeah.
So the knight before you morphs and alters and changes, and you don't quite recognize the face. It's not really your Lancelot, but you get a sense that it is a Lancelot. And this Lancelot immediately drops to one knee and bows before his king and says to you, "My liege, I am yours to command."
Very good. This is a dark and desolate place. No place for a knight like yourself, nor a place for my other noble knights of the table. Let us reconvene. Let us go upstairs and dine. Let us regale each other with tales of valor.
It is at this point, as Sir Lancelot says, "Yes, my liege, it would be an honor." The other three guards pull their clubs and they mutter among themselves. You're not quite sure of the words at first, and then you get a sense they're trying to say something through mouths that are not full. They say, not this story, not this script, not this story, not this script. And Jean, you can hear this as they get louder and louder. Edmund says, "They say this before. If you do not act in a way that they expect, if you do not act in a certain manner, if you go outside of your regular script, your story, they become aggressive. Quick, we must work faster."
Alice is going to step out from under the table and look up at them all and be like, "I'm hungry. I'd like to eat. And I'd like to lean on my kind strangers aspect."
Okay.
Which can I share that? I don't think.
Yeah, you can just click on the little box and arrow. That should work.
There we go. All right.
There you go.
So Alice has traveled into many, many worlds, and one thing that she can always kind of depend on is that wherever she goes, people tend to pay attention to her and tend to, they're not always super polite about it, but they tend to actually, like, even when they're completely batshit insane, they still respond to her in ways that are eventually helpful.
In this regard, are you spending a fate point to create a situational aspect to have their attention completely on you?
I would like to, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm
All
burning
right,
through
then.
fate points, but that's all right.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll compel you all eventually. So at this time, with the exception of Sir Lancelot, obviously, the other three guards, their attention is entirely upon Alice. That is the
If you're going
aspect
to
that you have
take-
created.
If you're going to take the king, you should take me too. I'm a queen.
Sir Lancelot will turn around and he will draw his club, and he will glance back at you, Morgan, and say, "My king, I know not where my blade may be, but I will defend you against these demons, these creatures."
Is he referring to the people behind him?
Yeah, he's referring to these blank gray guards.
Okay. Morgan as Arthur gives a smirk and looks at Lancelot and says, "You are my first knight for a reason. Let the tourney begin."
Okay. Lancelot will start to attack the other guards.
Morgan
If I
conjures some
may-
popcorn.
I may, meanwhile, back at the prison.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we're all at the prison, but back at the cell door.
Yes.
Sorry, because if I'm behind Tatiana, and where is she in the room?
Titania.
Titania
Titania,
is here.
right? You're not the Marvel character.
I'm not a really good actress from Orphan Black. I'm sorry.
Ah, yeah. Okay, and so guards are there. We're over
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
Locked to the door. Are we trying to get out the way towards Christine or the way through the guards? Would I know
Well-
what the quickest way to the escape tunnel is?
You will be able to help them find the quietest path through. Once Edmund is free,
Yes.
he will be able to ensure you are all able to get off this island. He says that a ship awaits.
Monsieur, Monsieur Valjean, if we can break this lock quick and get the fair maidens our way, I can take us to the escape route. And with a way of not alerting the guards. We just have to deal with these villains.
Yes, we're almost through. How, like, it's a big prison lock, I guess. Like, how do I feel that we are almost able to pick through it or bypass it or what?
You can make a burglary check to see how far along you've gone.
Well, of course, Valjean, the great burglar, right?
Yeah, of course.
He broke a window.
I mean, you're going no better or no worse than you would hope.
Mhm.
If you do wish to maybe bump that up, you can. You do have a couple of
Okay.
fate points, but it's your call.
Okay. Valjean will see we'll see that things have started to take a turn now that these blanks have started to show up and say, Edmund, stand back. And he will take the Vorpal sword that Alice gave him, and he will use it to cleave the lock off.
Oh, that was my idea.
That is a great idea. If Alice is not opposed, I will. Alice, you can utilize Alice's you can utilize the aspect. You get a free invocation. It's the you get one free invocation of that aspect. So you utilize it here to cut through the solid metal door and slash into the lock itself. While this is happening, there's a lot of noise at the top of the stairs. Morgan, you're kind of sitting back and watching as Lancelot bravely defends you from three strange creatures.
Right, get it, boy.
He doesn't hear that, does he?
That was
Arthur Lancelot relationship.
If you say that to him, you might accidentally break your disguise.
no, that was meant to be out of character.
It
It's
just
just like,
depends on which interpretation of
Depends on which
however, this is not a quiet event, and Christine, from your hiding place, you see coming in your direction yet more guards.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Again, you are well hidden enough that they have not spotted you yet, but they are coming closer.
Okay.
I think I might come out of hiding, but I want to see if I can try using one of my stunts. I want to try the Angel's Wept tonight.
Okay, so you see this large crowd, this group of 4 gray guards, their faces blank, moving towards you. You want to get a certain reaction out of them. I'm assuming the reaction is to I guess.
I want to see if maybe I can get them to go and be fighting alongside Morgan's version of Lancelot.
Okay, absolutely. So your Angel's Wept tonight stunt allows you to use your empathy rather than provoke to get that sort of action out of them. Why don't you go ahead and make me an empathy check to and see how well you do at this. Oh,
Roll the 4.
That's a pretty great result. They have at this time they are not, they have not yet reached a sort of like trigger moment where they would be aggressive towards you. So with a great result, you are able to provoke in them a desire to protect you.
Messieurs, I'm so glad you're here. It is a terrible thing. These guards above, it seems they are going rogue. They are trying to take us from this cell and do something against the king's justice. Please, you must help.
You managed to garner their sympathy, their empathy. They rush away from you and start moving towards the stairs. Morgan, you can see them kind of like running up in your direction. Okay. They are drawing their clubs. If you wish, you can step aside to allow them pass.
Absolutely.
Okay. You let
Alice
them pass.
is literally going to sidestep and giggle as they run up the stairs to go fight their own people.
I was panicking. I was like, oh God, they're bottlenecked. Nope.
They rush up the stairs, and what happens is a melee of brutality as they pound and punch and strike and bludgeon each other with these clubs. While this is ongoing, Jean, you and Sir Thomas.
Can I assist?
All right, yeah, the two of you are able to open this heavy door. Jean, how do you feel about this? This convict who's currently you're currently assisting in his prison break.
So he heard his name, but he wasn't in the room when he was explaining that he was falsely detained. Not that he would necessarily believe that, even if he was told.
Mm.
In terms of things, it's he said that letting him go will allow us to progress and bring things back to a normal. So he's sort of relying on that being true.
Mm.
But yeah, he'll assist with opening the door, just kind of and like he'll be somewhat insistent, just kind of like, now Edmund, where do we go now?
Okay. I would like to suggest that although you can see that this is for a greater good, you know, you like you say, you have no way of knowing if this is a good man. And it may be that once you have escaped this prison, you may have to do something to ensure that he, until you know better, until you've learned anything about this man, you may have to debate whether or not you leave him behind once he helps you get out of here. I would be interested in giving you a fate point if I can compel your trouble, with the understanding that once you get out of this prison, unless given a good reason not to, you will have to betray this man.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. You gain
Can
a fate point. Yes,
Can
Sir Thomas.
As I'm like, okay, great, the door's open. As sneaky and not like as up to it of a knight as I may be, I am still a knight. So can I go and make sure to get I trust the shape-shifting lady and the scary lady. Can I go call to Christine and Alice and tell them, and specifically go to Alice to usher her towards the door?
This is
yeah, absolutely.
But like in a stealthy way.
Alice is not unused to being ushered, so she's not going to challenge it at all. She'll just allow herself to be kind of pushed
Neither is
along.
Christine.
I shove with love the ladies.
Yep.
Titania is going to follow and say to Morgan, "Your Majesty, I think we're leaving."
And I look up to you know what? Not one to question Morgan's apparent gender fluidity. I'm like, yes, Your Majesty, we must be going now.
Okay, cool. So they're all like heading out.
You can see that they are congregating. The melee up here is starting to wind down as the physical blows are having their effect. And in the middle of it all, brave Sir Lancelot. Aha!
Da, 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 da.
Exactly.
I must say, he does look a changed man, but I do not know if we should bring your knight with us, for he used to be one of these creatures.
I understand.
Far
So
be it
Thomas
for me to tell a king what to do.
Very quickly.
Yes.
And refresh my memory. I apologize. In Fate, since I have invoked the aspect of shape-shifting Queen of King Arthur's court.
Yes.
Once an aspect is invoked, can I like use that throughout the scene, or do I have to keep paying fate points?
You need to pay a fate point every time you invoke an aspect. But you can use the aspect again. You just have to pay another fate point.
Okay.
You still do have the situation aspect disguised as King Arthur for the remainder of this scene, this act.
Okay. All right, because I was like, ha ha ha, wouldn't it be funny if I turned into a bird? But we won't do that. I'll go ahead and the melee is winding down, but Arthur will say, fare thee well, my brave knights. I must away to Avalon, and
Mhm.
Yeah, just kinda jazz
hope my
hands and
sister
run on
wants-
downstairs.
Okay.
Just kiss me before I go.
All right. They, Sir Lancelot says, "Yes, my liege, depart quickly," and continues to fight. Although he will be struck down sadly, as he was heavily outnumbered at first. Even the finest of knights can only fight for so long.
Well, he always was the biggest himbo, wasn't he? So
Dang.
I'm not sure how far I can run
Yeah.
in a turn, but I'm just kind of making my way.
You're grand. It's mostly theater of the mind. This is just here to look good. You gather together now, and Edmund, who has been freed from his cell, walks alongside Sir Thomas. Sir Thomas, you know the way. You know the secret paths. Please let us go.
Follow me quietly now.
Sir Thomas, please go ahead and make a stealth check to see how successful you are in avoiding arrest of the faceless guards and prisoners.
Do I invoke? Does it do anything for me to invoke? It pays not to squeak.
If you roll really badly or you roll decently,
let's just
but you
roll.
want to improve it,
Let's just
go ahead and
roll.
roll for. Yeah, go ahead and roll first. Oh wow.
Never mind. We
Can
good,
I-
baby.
can
I-
Roll it.
In order
That
to
is
make that even. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, Sir Thomas, if you still want to invoke it pays not to squeak, you can bump that up to a 6, which is a fantastic roll, if you wish.
I could also invoke my stunt. Are they aware that we're there? Because I have a stunt. What is it called? I will lead them up and down. Add 2 to a stealth check to evade an enemy who knows or suspects that you are nearby.
This is just to see if anybody does discover you.
Okay,
So
never mind.
yeah, Sir Thomas, would you like to spend a fate point and invoke your aspect? Make it
I'm
fantastic.
an NPC. Keep your fate points. Yes.
They're your fate points.
No. I'm an NPC. I was saying to Tatiana.
Oh, okay.
Dang, I did it again.
It's not an aspect. Those are my stunts.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
So
I'm not gonna be here for much longer. I'll do the fate points.
you spend a fate point, Sir Thomas,
Yeah.
and it is as if you are almost. It is almost as if you are not there. You slide into the shadows. Your armor not making a single squeak whatsoever as you move through here. It's quite remarkable. None of you have ever seen it, and you are able to follow with
I
Edmund.
tell you my secrets, but then I wouldn't have any.
Sir Thomas, you and Edmund are able to guide the rest of this group to this place now, through the shadows, through the darkness, and you come out upon a rocky shore. Anchored just off that shore is a small galleon with a crew struggling and readying the ship to leave. And Edmund turns to you all and says, "This is it, our salvation, my salvation. Soon things will be put right."
It's only a model. Sorry, I'll stop.
Edmund,
Yes.
now that you are free, what do you plan to do?
Plan to do what I have dreamed these 14 years. To use the skills I have developed here against my will. To bring low those who thought to bury me in the rock. To taste sweet vengeance at last against those who wronged me and betrayed me.
Oh, yeah. Good luck
May
with
you
that.
find justice.
Justice. Vengeance. Is there a difference?
In my experience, vengeance comes at the cost of a mark upon the soul.
Jean, how do you respond?
Valjean looks at him and says, I'm trying to think of what his wording would be. I can't allow you to free yourself from these shackles and throw yourself into villainy. Do you plan to do evil once we allow you on that ship?
What evil I must do is in response only to evil done to me.
And Valjean will intercede, Edmund.
Funny is that I want to say something, but Alice would not think of it, so I'm not going to say anything.
You plan to keep me from my goal?
Edmund, I've too suffered terrible things in prison for a crime as low as stealing bread to feed my sister and their family. They kept me at Toulon for 5 years and then 14 years more because I tried to see them again. You understand the terror. I, more than anyone here, can understand the hatred that you feel in your soul. They robbed me of my life. They took me when I was a child, and I did not know freedom until I was a man. And even after that, I lived in squalor for so long. I know more than most your hatred, but I cannot allow you to do evil. If you do evil, if we let you on that ship and you spread whatever villainy you want to do to take it back against these people, it will just propagate more. It will spread further, and it will happen again. I cannot allow you on that ship if you believe you're going to do those things. But if you can promise me, if you can promise on the life of your mentor, of a beloved, of your father, of your name, that you will try to do right with whatever ends you find. But less than that, I cannot allow you on this ship.
Jean, make a rapport check. Is a fair result. Would you like to invoke any suitable aspect or utilize a suitable stunt?
I think the closest stunt I would have would probably be, you could sort of talk your way out of it, but Valjean is saying that he will not allow himself to continue if he leaves, and vice versa, basically. So he is saying, for the good of all fiction, for the good of all people, grant him this request, and he will allow Edmund to go off and become the Count of Monte Cristo. Obviously, he doesn't know that. But Valjean he needs him to agree to this, and if nothing else, he will accept whatever conditions Edmund will place on him for causing him this sort of turmoil.
You give good counsel, monsieur. I see in your eyes that you have suffered in a way I have suffered. I will remember what you have told me. However, some injustice must be punished. Whatever did that to my friends, the jailers, the guards, whatever caused this madness, they must be destroyed. You must promise me you will not simply allow them to walk away unpunished. Take your blade and strike them down. You do this for me? For them?
Valjean takes a deep breath and he digs deep as he does, and by my name, I promise you, Edmund, that I, Jean Valjean, will not allow this thief to skitter off into the night. They will be stopped. And if I must be the one to stop them, then, well, that's that.
So be it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are a good man, monsieur. But we are running out of time, so we should get on the ship.
Come.
Sometimes I wish I wasn't. And Valjean I'll follow them.
You
Such is the challenge of being a good man.
Oh. You find that there is a boat waiting, and you are all of you bundle upon this boat towards the ship. As you get a little bit closer, you can see that the ship is identified as the Hispaniola, and you are pulled aboard one by one. The captain is a smiling knave with a peg leg, happy to welcome such esteemed company on board. Aye, a pleasure. So glad to see ye here safe and sound. However, these waters, they do not be kind. So let us sail, aye?
Aye.
Wait.
You are positioned comfortably upon the deck as the crew busy themselves. You sail.
So we are to sail to the land of the Moors, the Hispaniola.
It be the name given to it by its prior owner, my lady.
Prior owner.
Come now, let us see. And the sails are full, and you sail into the waters at the center of the world, the wide sea stretching out before you. The island, that prison, it fades away into fog. It dissipates, and the water spreads out further around you. The waters grow dark, however. Heaving waves threaten to swallow the boat completely. From above you, in the crow's nest, you hear a crewman shout, "Land! Land ho!" And he points towards a large white mass that seems to appear suddenly out of the churning sea. It rises and then sinks and rises again, coming ever closer. There is another cry from the crow's nest, and the crew suddenly panic as they realize what is racing towards them. A leviathan, a whale, giant, white, a harpoon deep in its blubbery flesh.
No.
It slams against the side of the ship. Wood cracks and splits. Men scream and splutter as water floods the lower decks. With the mighty whale comes a roar from above, a rumbling and a crack of lightning. The storm surges rapidly about you, blinding darkness marked by slashes of bright light. The ship turns, it spins, it lists, and all is dark once more. So ended Act 2.
Oh.
Like to thank Bex for joining us here as Sir Thomas Tom. Bex, please do take a bow before you depart us. Thank you so much.
Much
Yes,
fun.
please do.
Everyone donate. This company is like the most delight. Dang. Honor Moby Dick to y'all.
Oh, we did.
Don't put it like that. Really
Don't phrase it literally any other way, Bex. Literally any other way.
We did get
got
a donation
Essex.
over the. We did get
Oh.
a donation over this chapter.
Oh,
Yay!
wonderful.
Awesome.
He
Thank
call
you.
me a schmold you.
That's better, I guess. I ahabbed you. Yes. We are going to take another short break. Thank you again, Bex. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We have still some ways to go.
I'm gonna keep watching. You
Perfect, thank you.
Yay!
We will return in a few short minutes with the next act of our story. Thank you.
Mission.